5 seconds. Start. Friends, I am glad to welcome you to the 25th meeting of the Central Advisory Board of Education. We have recently completed 10 years of independence, and it is proper that we should look back and review some aspects of the progress achieved in the field of education and culture during this period. There are two ways in which we can assess any program of work. The first is to look at what has been done from the point of view of what was desirable. The second is to do so from the point of view of what was possible in the circumstances. If we take the first criterion and judge our progress from the standard of what was desirable, I confess that the results are not satisfactory. If, however, we consider the situation in which India attained her freedom and the difficulties which we have had to face since then, I am glad to say that there is no need to be sorry for what has been achieved during the last 10 years. You would all remember that we have faced one difficulty after another since the first day of independence. When I assumed charge of education in 1947, I immediately saw that there could be no solution of our educational problem without the fullest cooperation of the center and the provinces. Education was no doubt a provincial subject, but it was my considered opinion that this distinction could be maintained only when our educational targets have been achieved. Till such time, the central government should openly recognize that though education is a provincial subject, it must share the responsibility with the provincial governments. If we were to meet the challenge of the times, I appointed a committee under the chairmanship of the late Kher, then Chief Minister of Bombay, who prepared a scheme for introduction of universal elementary free education in 16 years, provided the center undertook to meet at least 30% of the expenses. I regret to say that we have not been able to give effect to this scheme. India is a democracy where the cabinet has joint responsibility. I am therefore equally responsible with my colleagues for our failure in implementing the proposals of the Kher committee. I may add that one of our difficulties has been that some of my colleagues have regarded education to be a purely provincial subject. Dear sirs, we are in receipt of your letter of the 17th instant. We very much regret to hear from Mr. Raman, our agent in your district, that the quality of the woolen goods with which you have been supplied for the past few months has been so poor. We have had no similar complaint from any of our retail shops in the southern districts, but we are quite prepared to have the whole of the goods returned to us, and we will arrange to credit you with the value. We have always tried to do our best to keep the standard at a very high level, but we are at the moment very short of hands, and we have had to depend on outside firms for much of the work which was previously done in our workshops. It may be, of course, that the firms to whom we gave the work did not perform the duties in the way we desired. Yours faithfully,